things in math is the number line. The number line is the way to kind of try to see what's happening. And especially when you deal with like positives and negatives, like having to add a negative or subtract a negative, kind of having a number line can really help you keep everything straight, whether you're going to the right of the number line where things get larger and larger and larger, or going to the left on the number line where things get smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay. And we can also use the number line for portions of numbers, so fractions. If you notice here, we're going from 0 to 1. And if we are breaking this up into quarters, into 4 pieces, those each must be quarters then. And they might not always tell you, oh, these are quarters, but if you see 1, 2, 3, 4 segments, then that means that's what we're dividing that segment by. The size of those slices are going to be quarters. Oh yeah, Candida, we will get that for you. Sorry, Melissa, I forgot to mention before we started that you want to have the PDF ready. So it might take Melissa a moment to go and grab that. But she will definitely grab that for you. All right. Now, one other weird thing about the number line, and I am going to kind of talk about this later. Let me add some numbers onto the negative side, because this will come back in geometry when you do geometry, so I want to kind of address it now, is that there is this weird aspect of the negative side of the number line that is as the actual numbers get bigger, or another thing that we're going to talk about in just a moment, you might call it the absolute value of those numbers get bigger, the true value gets smaller. So for example, -3 is going to be, as we can see, smaller than -1, even though the number 3 itself is definitely bigger than the number 1. So that is like a weird little aspect of the negatives. Y'all, give me a letter Y in chat if that makes sense. That as the kind of the numbers themselves get bigger on the negative side, the true value gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And just something you want to keep in mind, especially when you go to algebra sessions later and they start bringing in greater than and less than, that's when that can get a little tricky. All right, but let's go ahead and take a look here. And I will put up a poll. One thing that's important, if you are new to class, please, the only thing to ask of you is don't yell out answers in the public chat. We want to make sure the public chat is spoiler free. Nobody gets a question ruined for them before they're ready to answer. So don't put any answers in the public chat, but I just put that poll on the screen. I'm seeing lots of votes rolling in already, and you can vote at any time. And actually, I encourage everybody to vote, even if you're not sure, because that helps me and Melissa know if we're all understanding the idea, if we need to spend more time in it, etc., etc. Oh, Roger, yeah, no worries. We kind of just talked about the idea of the number line and how negatives and positives work. But for whatever you missed, you can watch the video after class is done. If you just scroll down on your account, you should be able to find the videos. Okay, so, well, first of all, this improper, we call it an improper fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. It might be hard to think about in this form, 16 divided by 6. So we might want to think about, okay, well, let's do this division. And y'all tell me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a mixed fraction right here. How many times does 6 go into 16, y'all? How many 6s can I fit in the number 16? Yes, I can fit 2 6s in there. So, okay, it's still going to be negative, but 2. And then, well, how many will I have left over? If I put 2 6s in there, how many do I have left over? Yes, nice. Miriam, we are working on the PDF. Melissa's going and grab that. That's kind of my fault. I forgot to remind her to go and grab it. So she's grabbing it. We will have it up soon. There it is. is. Teacher Melissa is awesome. Just right on cue with that. But yeah, so 2 times 6 is 12, and 12 is 4 away from 16. So we would say we'd have a remainder of 4. And we can break those up into individual sixes. Okay, y'all. Now let's do a little bit more. Y'all are doing pretty good with your fractions. Let's reduce this fraction. What can I divide out of the top and bottom of 4 and 6? We could just leave it as 4/6. That would be totally fine. But we can also divide the top and bottom by 2. That's right, just divide the top and bottom of that fraction by 2 just to reduce it. And we'll say, okay, this is really going to be 2 and 2/3. -2 and 2/3. Like that. And another thing that I think is kind of important when you're dealing with mixed fractions like this is that we don't write it. And I actually think it's kind of whack that we don't write it. But when we write 2 and 2/3, we really mean 2, plus 2/3 in a way. Y'all, give me a Y in chat if that makes sense. Like we're saying 2/3 more than 2. So 2 plus 2/3. But that whole thing has to be negative. Oh yeah, Miriam, I'm sorry. I'm taking these a little out of order. I went to this one first because this was just the one about the pure number line. And then the other ones were going to get the absolute value. So I decided to jump to 5 first. I should have warned y'all about that. I should have warned you that I might jump around a little bit, but it's mainly because of what we're covering. Okay, so if I want to go to -2 and 2/3, well, I'll go, okay, let's go 2 in the negative direction. Like that so far. And then I'm just going to go another 2/3. So not quite another whole 1 in the negative direction, but 2/3 more in the negative direction. That looks like B is going to be our winner. Ding, ding, ding. A lot of us have that in the poll. So very good job if you put that in the poll. But if you didn't, let's think it through. Let's make sure we understand why choice B is going to be the right answer. So first we just divided 6 into 16. You could even, y'all, honestly put that into your calculator. Okay? You get probably a kind of weird decimal if you put that in your calculator, like 0.666666666 going on forever. Also, by the way, I was working with a student today and doing math, and I was like, okay, put in 2/3 in your calculator. And she's like, oh, can I just call it 0.67? And then I was like, oh my God, is that where that annoying meme came from? Did that annoying meme come from the fraction 2/3? Is that possible? Maybe. So maybe that's where it came from, and that would be sad. But we could also have done it like this, just called it negative. It didn't. It came from a music video? Okay. I thought it was like that one. I saw the video of the kid at the basketball game that does it, that really, I guess, popularized it. But man, y'all, I work in a high school right now, and I cannot say the number 6 or 7 without a kid yelling that out. It's highly annoying. But if we did it that way as well, it would still be the same way to think about it. You want to go -1 hits here, -2 hits here, okay. And then since this is bigger, 2.67 is bigger than 2 on the positive side, it's going to be smaller than 2 on the negative side, closer to 3. Okay. Oh no, Candida, I don't know. I don't know that one. I don't know that one. I don't think I want to know that one. All right, let's go on. Let's talk about some more number line stuff. So if you do have any questions about that still, y'all, ask Teacher Melissa down in the Q&A.